We are back for What's Up This Week from the Do This Not That podcast presented by Marigold. This is our super short episode where we break down what's going on this week in marketing and business and in life. And then we still have our short Ask Us Anything later in the week and our big tips episode at the end of the week. So, what's going on? Well, TikTok is sort of unbanned, right? You can go on there and see all the videos you want of baby pandas smiling at you or whatever your jam is. But there is still some nonsense going on with the TikTok thing, which I just can't believe, which is you may not realize it, but you cannot actually download the TikTok app onto your phone if you don't already have it. Because of this ban situation right now, the app is not available in any of the app stores currently. It's not available in the Apple App Store or the Google Play App Store. Why does this matter? Well, people out there are losing their minds. When the ban went into effect for like 24 hours or whatever, what did some people do? They actually erased they deleted the TikTok app from their phone and like, oh no, I want the TikTok app back because it's unbanned. Well, guess what? You can't download that app because it's not available in the app stores until this whole thing gets worked out. So the nonsense that's going on, and it is total embarrassment nonsense, is that people are selling their old phones on eBay that have the TikTok app on it, so that way people that are losing their minds that don't have access to TikTok can buy these phones. And some of the phones that are being sold on eBay that have the TikTok app on it are being sold for thousands of dollars. I was on eBay checking this out. There was a phone that has TikTok app, a brand new iPhone 16 Pro Max. It was being sold for $50,000 because it had the TikTok app on it. And there were 80 shoppers looking at this thing. That's embarrassing. And there were a ton of listings of phones that were like $3,000, $4,000. I mean, everyone needs to get a life, seriously. But that is what's going on during all this TikTok nonsense. What else is going on that's actually mildly useful to know about, which is World Data Research came out with some new information related to the body copy size in the emails that you are sending out. And it's about your emails being visually boring. What do we mean by that? And what are we seeing? You ever get a text from like a friend and you open up and it's like, oh my God, and it's this giant block of text. It's like hundreds of words. You're like, whoa, I'm going to read that during lunch. I'm going to read that tonight because I know there's drama there. I just don't have the time to focus in on that now. You don't even read one word of it. You could just see it visually. You could see, whoa, there's drama there. Well, in the world of email, it's kind of the same thing where if you open up an email and you see a big block of text, you instantly, instead of saying I'm going to read it later because it's not one of your friends, it's just a brand sending you an email, you just close that email and you delete that email because you're like, I don't even want to get involved with this. That's just too much of an investment of my time because that email looks visually boring. So a World Data Research came out with, and which is really interesting for us all to think about in our testing of our email, is that when you send out your emails, business or consumer emails, they did this analysis of blocks of text that have 3 lines of text versus 5 lines of text. And just visually, when you open up that email, if somebody sees just 3 lines of text versus 5 lines of text, the ones with 3 lines of text have a click-through rate increase of 21% higher than the 5 lines of text. Why? Because this, as soon as we see that 5 lines of text, we don't care what it says. It could say, Jay, you just won $7 billion. It doesn't matter what it actually says in those 5 lines of text. We're just not interested because it's visually really boring. So when you want to think about setting up your body copy, it's not about how many words, but are you breaking it up? 3 lines of text, maybe some bulleted stuff. You can't just write whatever you want. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's even going to start reading it. So 3 lines is the path, according to World Data Research. All right, what else is going on this week? Well, Threads, which is the competitor to X, which is the old Twitter, right? Threads is now going to start having ads. Ads have been starting to be tested and rolled out on Threads, which is not really surprising, right? And for those of you who don't go on Threads, I don't go on Threads that much. I just don't. I mean, the only time I go on Threads is when I'm on Instagram and by accident I click on some weird post and it takes me into Threads. But the reason it matters is that now Threads has 300 million monthly active users. They're going to have ads on there. And a lot of brands are going to be very attracted to running ads on there because it's a little bit more of a controlled environment than X. So, in terms of marketing, it's not going to be inundated with ads everywhere, and it's going to kind of be this new frontier. And the way it works, according to Meta, their statement is starting today, a small number of advertisers will test ads in threads to help campaigns go further by reaching the growing threads community. Businesses will be able to extend their existing Meta ad campaigns because Meta owns Instagram and Facebook and also threads without the need for bespoke creative or additional resourcing by simply checking a box in Ads Manager. So, ads are coming to threads. That's not a shocker. So, what else is going on this week? Well, the Super Bowl is set. I'm a little disappointed. We got the Chiefs against the Eagles. I'm just not a big fan of this whole kind of like redo thing. We've seen them in the Super Bowl, whatever. And also, we got Taylor Swift is going to be front and center. Listen, I like Taylor Swift and all. Her music's cool. They got to either get engaged or do whatever, her and Travis Kelce, because that's going to be the topic for the next 2 weeks. And what's going on here? The Eras Tour is over. If they don't get engaged as soon as the Super Bowl ends, I need to talk with them because enough is enough. Let's pull the trigger. Let's get going. Let's make this happen, or don't. I'm sure they really want my advice on all this. And then the other thing is the Super Bowl halftime performer is Kendrick Lamar. I like Kendrick Lamar. I don't know how that's going to resonate with I asked my mom what did she think of Kendrick Lamar. When I tell you she had absolutely no idea what I said, like she was like, I don't know what you're talking about, which is fair. The most interesting about Kendrick Lamar is the beef that he has with Drake. Now, this is a very good time these next 2 weeks to go really deep and learn all about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. And I'm on team Kendrick Lamar because his diss track, Not Like Us, was pretty cool. Anyway, this is all really important information. Really, really important information. So thanks for being here. Check out our Ask Us Anything later in the week and leave this thing a review. Later.